This next session is a slight departure from our usual programming. We're stealing a concept from a popular show in the UK called Dragon's Den. We'll be showcasing entrepreneurs and their projects that are looking for that crucial funding, investment, or partnership to get off the ground. We'll be allowing these entrepreneurs to present their projects, a brief elevator pitch, if you like, before a panel of experts, and of course you, our esteemed guests. So in turn, our panel of experts, who I'll introduce very, very soon, will be asking some searching questions to test those business models of the projects being presented before us. So I'm really looking forward to a lively discussion. So let me introduce our panel of experts. First up, we have Paul Hoskins, the Director of ITIC and Invest Tourism. Welcome, Paul. Also joining us, and please, I hope I get this right, Gobu Samang Dempsey Kabine, CEO of Corporate Nexus. Kushata Chalisa, Head of Citizen Economic Empowerment Program with the Stanbic Bank in Botswana. Welcome. As well as Moshi Ratsibe, Director of Investment Promotion for the Botswana Investment and Trade Centre. I really hope I pronounced your names correctly. So ladies and gentlemen, our panel of experts here. But first, before we bring our investment hopefuls onto the stage, bit of housekeeping happening here. But before we bring our investment hopefuls on stage, let's showcase some shining lights in the industry, not just locally, but from around the globe. We'll have 3 industry best standard presentations before our Dragon's Den type affair takes place. So first up, let's hear from a United Arab Emirates success story, Ras Al Khaimah. We'll hear how this tiny emirate has gone from just mountains and desert to a tourism, MICE, and business flagship. To sing its successes, please give a warm welcome to Mohammed Belkhodja. Yes, that's right, Mohammed Belkhodja, Director of Investments and Special Projects for the Ras Al Khaimah Tourism Development Authority.
Dumelang, everyone. This is how you say it, right? And salam alaikum in Arabic. Great. Perfect. So I'm Mohamed Belkhodja. I'm heading investments and special projects at Ras Al Khaimah Tourism Development Authority, which is a government entity. It's the tourism board of Ras Al Khaimah. Ras Al Khaimah is a city within the United Arab Emirates. You know, in UAE, you have 7 emirates. We call them emirates. It's 7 cities. And Ras Al Khaimah is to the northern of the UAE. And Ras Al Khaimah means top of the tent, because it's on the northern UAE. We will start with our destination video, and then we'll go through the journey. Yeah. It's on. It is on. It's okay, just go. Yeah. Take. Till the video starts, anyways, Ras Al Khaimah. So, I'm sure you're all familiar with UAE and Dubai. Everyone knows Dubai. Cool, we're here. So, let's have a quick statistics about UAE as a nation, as a country. So, United Arab Emirates is 200 plus nationalities, 10 million people. First country where people feel safe from as a safe country. First in the Middle East, from gender parity. And number 8, globally in government gender parity. Yeah. Can you go to the third slide, please? Next. Yeah, let's watch this video and then you'll understand what are the similarities between Ras Al Khaimah and Botswana from a topography perspective. Hope you enjoyed it and I allowed you to travel a little bit. So as you see the logo, let's take the logo. So as you see, it's the mountain, the desert, and then the beach, or the beach, the desert, however you want it. So Ras Al Khaimah is really, if there's one word to qualify Ras Al Khaimah, is authenticity. And why we're showcasing Ras Al Khaimah today in Botswana's Tourism Investment Summit is because of the story and how we got to the point where we are at right now, which took us almost a decade, more or less. First of all, from accessibility, Ras Al Khaimah is a hub. We are really 8 hours from, hold on a second, sorry, 4 hours from 1/3 of the global population. Ras Al Khaimah is 45 minutes from Dubai International Airport, which was one of the world's global busiest airports, so connectivity is easy to Ras Al Khaimah. Here, as you can see from from an UAE perspective, you have different airports, Rag being to the northern, then you have Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. Still, the majority of the tourists would go to Dubai and then travel within the UAE. From a Tourism Development Authority's mission, our mission was really to transform Ras Al Khaimah's tourism industry into a sustainable driver. And when we talk about sustainability, it's not only sustainability through the infrastructure, it's sustainability economically, environmentally, and of course socially. And socially is key. If these three pillars are not well balanced, which we call it the balanced tourism approach, where we have these three pillars, and within these pillars, then you can build whatever legacy you want to leave for the next generations. And here, as you can see, 5 key directions. One, diversify and enhance the visitor experience in Ras Al Khaimah through differentiated development of sustainable experiences that are aligned with our vision, which is exactly what's written here, accelerating investments towards sustainable product diversification. And again, product diversification is not only about the products, the hotels, or the attractions, it's about the economic driver, the environment, and the community engagement, and giving back to the community. 2, raising the overall competitiveness of Ras Al Khaimah's tourism industry to attract new investments. So Ras Al Khaimah has been rated by Fitch, S&P, A with a stable outlook for the last decade, more or less. So from sovereign wealth fund perspective, there are some stabilities. And from what I heard earlier from the different panelists, Botswana has a certain stability from an economic perspective because of the, from what I understood, the diamonds and the governance that you have within Botswana, which is great. But then how to leverage with this solidity, this is where the economic part, the environmental part, and the social part would come into action. 3, position and promote Ras Al Khaimah's tourism offering in targeted international markets to generate high yields customers throughout the year. We have 17 representative offices all over the world. And again, this is part of the strategic way of exposing Ras Al Khaimah to the world, in addition to all the media campaigns, the strategic partners that we have. 4, expand tourism-driven employment, particularly for Emiratis and Ras Al Khaimah residents, improve quality of work life for employees of tourism establishment. Live, we call it live, work, play. So we need, I was discussing with one of the participants here, Liane. Okay, cool, that's a little bit far. Tourism hospitality, there's some perception to it that people don't really see sometimes, especially the youngest generation. If we don't educate them, inspire them about tourism and hospitality, it's not only long hours with lower pay. It's also aspirations, it's also giving back to the community, enhancing destinations, and really it's all about creating awareness actually to the people and to the youngest generation so that they are more motivated to work within the tourism and hospitality industry actually. 5, enhanced livability, by improving lifestyle of local Emiratis and residents. By bringing foreign direct investments, by investing within the tourism hospitality scene, we automatically enhance the quality of living, the ecosystem, which automatically will make them aspire to a better future actually. From a political stability, it is a political and economic stable country, the Emirate as well from sovereign wealth fund perspective. Geographic advantage, we discussed them. Favorable business environment. So ease of doing business is not just a say or a code. Ease of doing business is when you have the right infrastructure and the right ecosystem. So we in Ras Al Khaimah, we have RAC economic zone, which is a free zone where 100% ownership for foreigners is there, where capital expatriation is possible, the ease of the financial flow, and this is very important. In addition to the business setup, the residency by investment schemes, the golden visas, and I think the Honorable Minister talking about it. So all of this creates an ecosystem to get the investors actually. From a destination performance perspective, last year we ended up with 1.13 million visitors. This year we're aiming at 1.2. We're looking at an occupancy of more or less 65-ish % all over the year. And our key source markets are Russia, UK, Germany, India, and the CIS market. And here, as you can see, from the performance perspective, Ras Al Khaimah is growing, and we are there to achieve our 1.2 million visitors by end of this year. We're going to talk later on about the EarthCheck silver certification. EarthCheck is a global leader in sustainability certification out of Australia, and this is something that really has put us on the map from a sustainability perspective, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more, and this is something that potentially Botswana can take advantage of, and we will be more than happy to facilitate any intros whatsoever. So a quick, from proportion perspective, so far we are at 50-50, 50 domestic travelers, 50% international travelers. From a hotel supply, we currently have more or less around 8,000 keys. We're aiming to add less than almost the same 7,500 keys within by 2026. Yeah. Few new hotel openings. So we have the Anantara, Le Méridien by Accor, W Hotel, Western Ras Al Khaimah Nobu, and the Wynn Al Marjan. I don't know if you heard about it, but we have announced in January 2022 Wynn Integrated Resort on Marjan Island. Marjan Island is a 4 man-made island within Ras Al Khaimah, where it will be the first integrated resort in the Middle Eastern region. And this announcement has been a real game changer for the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah and for the UAE as the United Arab Emirates. And of course, this integrated resort will have its own casino. Click. Yeah. Upcoming properties. So I was talking about Earthshake, so sustainable tourism initiatives. The vision is to become the regional sustainable emirate within the region of GCC, the Gulf countries, by 2025. People talk about 2023, but by 2025, our aim is to become the most sustainable destination regionally. Recently, we have announced that we just got the silver certification as a destination from Earthshake, which really within our roadmap, and by 2025 we will achieve the rest. Responsible RAC is an initiative to certify businesses, which again, from mindset perspective, ecosystem perspective, helps the destination to get to the sustainability pledge by creating this kind of certifications. And from a global exposure perspective, it really helps to put forward the destination. This is ISO, 50001 is another one. This is just a high level from MICE perspective. So we have done so far almost 100 fam trips with 522 participants, 5 exhibitions, and you name them, the biggest ones, 155 workshops, a little bit less than 2,000 sales calls, 1,700 flight hours, more or less, 8 exclusive roadshows, on-the-job training programs. It shows how dynamic we are as an authority and how we really care about the destination and the team members, actually. So this is very important. We have 17 representative offices globally, all over the world. And this is important, again, from an exposure perspective and from ease of doing business, and to, of course, present Ras Al Khaimah to the travelers. Airline connectivity is key. We have an airport in Ras Al Khaimah, is mainly charter flights. Recently, we announced our partnership with Qatar Airways, which again elevates the destination and really allows ease. It makes the connectivity much easier. Now the airport is ongoing a major renovation, master planning, to get an executive terminal within it because of the new type of visit that we will be receiving as part of the Wynn Integrated Resort and the new developments coming to the Emirate. This is where connectivity is key. Summer campaign, so 65 tour operators participated. Sorry. Number of nights generated just by the summer campaign, almost 150,000 nights. Sorry, some issue with the click, but we're getting there. Yeah. From conferences perspective, Ras Al Khaimah is well known also for the wedding, as a wedding destination. A lot of weddings happen in Ras Al Khaimah because, so we have 64 kilometers of pristine beaches coastline, and the development, 80% is on the beachfront, 20% is on the land side, which makes it really appealing to investors from tourism hospitality perspective or from a business perspective. Few of the conferences: EWPC, Exotic Wedding Planning Conference, Arab Aviation Summit, and the upcoming one, Global Citizen Forum, that's going to happen in 2 weeks' time. And of course, we recently hosted the WMF World Mini Football Cup Romania was the winner, and this also gave a lot of momentum. This is to show you a little bit from a roadshow perspective. This is what's going to happen in 2024, and as you see, we are actively promoting the destination. Participating exhibitions, as you can see, all over the world, Europe being key, US, and Asia. From marketing communication, very actively there from media perspective, and one of them. These are highlights about the digital communications achievements: 800 million plus social media impressions, 1.1 million visitors to our corporate website and consumer website. We have two. And the lowest year-to-date bounce rate, visit Jebel Jais website, is our mountains website. We have the highest peak in the UAE, 1,934 meters of peak, of height. Click. Bon. Sorry, yes, it's not working. It's fine. Can you go to the next slide, please? It's okay. This was a fun one. Total views 20 million. It's not a real camel. We love animals, no problem. This is AI generated, and really it created the buzz, but we had also a lot of activists who called them whatsoever. Yeah, how come you're torturing camels? No, we're not torturing camels, but it did, actually we have the longest zip line in the world on Jebel Jais, and this created really a good buzz out of it. Next, please. These are our activities. Next. This is some media coverage, as you can see, from the biggest magazine, Forbes, Business Traveler, Elle, Vanity Fair, Economist. Next, please. Next. This was an article by Forbes, interesting one. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Before ending it, actually, to be honest, I was impressed by the kindness of people in Botswana. It's my first time in Botswana and South Africa. I'm originally Tunisian. Mom French, father Tunisian. I've been in UAE for the last 10 years, more or less. Definitely the country Botswana has a lot of potential, that's for sure. And what we're saying is we have the right to win and the right to compete, okay? So the right to compete, you try to balance whatever you have. But the right to win, you have to focus on it, excel in it, and manage it so that at least when people think, even emotionally speaking, about Botswana, they will say, okay, I would go to Botswana for this particular thing, whatever the thing is. Plus, leveraging on the diamonds economy and business and even awareness, you know, this is very important because this could lead indirectly or directly investors actually, foreign direct investments, to get Botswana on the scene. Creating packages, and I think someone was mentioning, one of the panelists, is great with other countries and collaborating. Of course, Africa is Africa, South Africa, whatsoever. But again, the right to win is very important, and Botswana, I'm sure, its people know exactly what is the right to win in Botswana, and if you focus on that, things would go really in the right direction, and you would elevate the country's actually appeal. On another note, when I was mentioning EarthCheck, this is something also interesting. I would be more than happy to share with the tourism board or whoever would be interested, how Botswana could get it too, because this also elevates, and from a PR perspective is key. One last thing and most important part, if we got where we are today, is because of the leadership. So His Highness, Sheikh Saud bin Saqr al-Qasimi, who is a UAE Supreme Council member and ruler of Ras Al Khaimah, who is the chairman of our authority, and tourism is really keen to his heart, under, of course, our CEO's leadership, Rocky Phillips. believed in his people, and when you believe in the people and you got the right team around you, things can only move fast. Plus, he is a forward thinker. When we talk about bureaucracy, ease of doing business is key, so we try to cut any useless bureaucracy, because at the end, bureaucracy will not lead to prosperity, but it would lead to losing time. And when you were talking about the land that remained for 3-4 years, etc., so all of it as an ecosystem, this is what really create the dynamic and get people to Botswana. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here, and hope to see you on RAC.
Thank you, Mohammed. That was great. You know, there were 3 things that really struck me about that presentation. I was really impressed with the connectivity. The social media stats were crazy. They were off the Richter scale. And also, Earth Check. I didn't realize Earth Check, you could Earth Check a tourist board. I thought Earth Check was just experiences or activities and also hotels. So that's something definitely that Botswana already, I think, has the credentials for. So given that we're short on time and Ras Al Khaimah is a success story, would just perhaps one panel of expert like to comment on Ras Al Khaimah? Maybe Mr. Kabine, would you like to say a few words? What do you think is the, what struck you most about that success story, and do you think, how can it be applied here?
Thank you. Am I audible? I think what came out very clear is, for me, is the turnaround time in making and taking decisions. And I come maybe from a background of chamber, so you'll hear throughout when I speak that I've always been on the other side of the government. So my story is always trying to push government against the wall to get as much blood out of it as possible. I'm not saying they are doing anything wrong, but if, as Kim Nixon was saying, if it's going to take 2 to 3 years, in some instances, and I quoted that recently, it took one organization 10 years to get necessary government permits to implement what it needed to do. No business, because that's who I represent, can sit for that long. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kabine. Did anyone else on the panel feel very strongly, or should we move on to Botswana? Yes, okay. So next up, let's hear from our very own Ketumetse Setlang, the acting CEO of Botswana Tourist Office. And Ketumetse will tell us what's the latest on the ground, what the latest initiatives are happening here. So I'm really looking forward to hearing all about this. Thank you, welcome.
While they sort themselves out, ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you very much for staying on until now to listen to the presentations. Chateau. And also thank you most profoundly for being a part of this discussion. A lot has been said about Botswana as an investment destination, so I'm not going to delve much into the why, but maybe when I start, let me assure investors that are interested in Botswana and are sitting here today that all the issues that are being raised are being attended to at the very highest level. So when you think of investing in Botswana, please keep on, and please come through because we need you. There's quite a number of business opportunities that are available in Botswana, and those are highlighted there. I'll quickly just go through that which you can see on the screen in terms of the statistics, in terms of the numbers of people that we receive in Botswana as travelers. Obviously, as you know, the numbers have gone down. My colleague from Air Botswana earlier on spoke about how ravishing COVID has been on the destination, and it is true. But we are on an upward trajectory. The UNWTO forecasts that tourism will go back to the 2019 normal in 2025. We are planning to expedite that so that we don't wait for 2025. We've got people that depend on tourism, and therefore we cannot wait for 2025 to be fully operational, to be fully back in terms of our arrivals, in terms of the performance of the sector. Next slide, please. And you've heard also about who Botswana is in terms of tourism attractions. We've got a very beautiful destination in terms of landscapes, in terms of culture, in terms of lifestyle type tourism, in terms of sports-based tourism. There is just so much for one to see when one visits Botswana. And we keep diversifying the product, and our being here today is to look for opportunities that you as private sector in Botswana have to help diversify the Botswana tourism product offering. Next slide. Now, one of the opportunities, because I'm going to go straight into specific opportunities, you all have had a chance to look at the ITIC and BTO platform for the investment summit, where we have listed all the specific projects that are available for investment as opportunities, both from private sector, from communities, and those that we are trying to drive as government on behalf of communities. And one of the projects that we are working on is the Kasane-Kazungula redevelopment project. We are talking about a 14-kilometer stretch between Kasane and Kazungula, and the idea being, let's clear the Chobe River front for tourism purpose. Work has already commenced in terms of relocating some of the developments that were there that we believed were not tourism savvy and are being moved elsewhere to allow tourism to take place. The 4 areas that are envisioned for this area will obviously provide opportunities for development of residential properties, spas, a hotel, a conference facility, as well as a marina, and basically just a leisure type product development. So these are opportunities that are available. You may see us to discuss these further when I step down from this podium. Next. And those areas, those circles, those red circles point to the specific points where you would find the 4 areas that I spoke about. And as you can see, all are along the Chobe River front. And that's some illustrations in terms of what our dream is about this particular place. The other opportunity available is in Gaborone at a place called Block 7, where we are looking at developments for a 5-star facility, conference facility, office space, and as well as shopping centers and a recreational park. It's right in the middle of the city. We need investors both from here and from around the world to come and help us realize this dream. The Quiz Tourism Park, somebody spoke about us diversifying into other forms of tourism without necessarily ignoring what we already have. There's this area in Kalahari called Quiz, where we are looking at developing a tourism park, and this is a project that is done for the community in the village. Earlier on, somebody spoke about sustainability, and to us, sustainability means ensuring that our people, our communities, benefit from the resources that we have in terms of tourism. And this park is one such example where land has been allocated to a community to ensure that the community, together with private sector, partner to develop, to make developments or to create a product out of this beautiful area called Quiz. We've recently started allocating land around our dams. This is where we have a partnership with the corporation that provides potable water. And there's a symbiotic relationship that we have established there to ensure that we introduce activities around dams. There's quite a number of hotel sites. Some have already been allocated, and those that have been allocated the land are around this room today and are looking for partners. So please go to the deal room to go and have discussions with them in terms of what's available for your partnership. A list of activities or developments that we envision for the place: lodges, health and beauty spas, as well as luxury accommodation. Next slide, please. There's a place not too far from Gaborone, in a place called Sasakwe. This is a very beautiful place, barren land that is waiting for somebody to go turn it around into something quite beautiful and something that is worthy of a visit. So we have got more details about this, and please see us so we have a discussion around it. But it's not too far from Gaborone. What is envisioned for this place is an eco-lodge, and also other activities like your walking safaris and all that. And the area is mentioned is not too far from Gaborone. You would obviously have seen in the portal that there's quite a long list of opportunities that have been presented by the private sector. This investment summit was about creating opportunities for a meeting between yourselves as investors and Botswana investors. So please visit this portal to see what other opportunities beyond those that I just highlighted are available from the local investor, and those that I did not possibly mention because of time, but are available for partnership with communities. We have set up a deal room where you may go and meet with investors that own land, that own properties from the areas as mentioned in the portal, where you can have a discussion and get to see what else is available. I think I needed to just do that high-level presentation in the interest of time. Thank you very much.
Ketumetsi Sedlang, thank you so much. That was great. It's wonderful to hear that there is so much happening and so much opportunity happening here in Botswana. And I like how there's always the thought that the people must benefit too. I think that's quite crucial. Did we need to comment on that one, or should we go on to the next? Would you like to mention something? Mr. Ratsibi, yeah.
Am I audible? Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Member Salam, for that wonderful presentation. I think for me, what is really encouraging, it's what government is really trying to do around one of the prime destination areas, Kasane Kazungula area. I think personally for me, if you had asked me 2, 3, 4 years ago, I would have told you that place is already crowded. There is no future for expansion development. And amazing how BTO working with government have been able to find opportunity to unlock that space, rearranging it and redesigning it. And I think what is key for me and important is the ability to execute around these plans that we have. Yes, they are grand, they're in place, but I think what will be more important is our ability to be able to execute, which was a discussion that we listened to earlier on. But it's quite encouraging. I think there's huge potential, great opportunity for Botswana. The right fundamentals are in place from an economic point of view, as we have discussed in the afternoon, and it's really for the investors really to take up some of these opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, and similarly, the next project that we've got sounds equally as exciting as all mentioned before. It's the Discover the Galagadi Smart and Leisure City. Did I pronounce that properly? Yes. So, did I get the name of Discover the Kalagadi Smart and Leisure City Concept and Investment Opportunities. So to tell us more, please welcome Shepo Mokile, for the Project's Operation Manager from Botswana Tourism Organization, and Ibrahim Ayub, the Group CEO from the ITIC and Invest Tourism Limited, and they will tell us more. I'm really looking forward to hearing about this.
Dumelang, good afternoon. What we are here today to present about is a concept that was born a few years ago, not so very long ago, about a dream that Botswana has. And this is into the transformation of the Kalahari Desert into an international recognized city that people would want to live in, would want to invest in, and a place that we can put at the center of our country that would sit on the center of SADC as the hub of what you would see as the city of tomorrow. Let me introduce my partner in crime, who is Mr. Ibrahim Ayub. I'm sure you all have met him this morning, who will take us through this very concept. For those who do not know Kalahari, Kalahari sits on the southern part of Botswana, and we know that Botswana is mainly made up of the desert. And the previous presentation that was done was telling us a story about how the desert in the UAE was transformed from what it was before to the now that it is. Mr. Ibrahim Ayub, please take us through our very own concept.
Okay, thank you. I mean, it's a pleasure, Jumela, to you all. I mean, like my partner from BTO mentioned, this was a project got born, I mean, when we started talking together like 2 years ago, we were looking at the different possibilities of investment into Botswana. And we say, how do you, I mean, Botswana is 80% approximately of desert, 20% of the different towns that have been developed. And we look at the positioning of Botswana itself. The clicker is, sorry, this one? Okay. So when we look at Botswana, the positioning of Botswana, oops. Okay, maybe you should. Yeah, I was saying that when you look at the positioning of Botswana, it's surrounded by 4 countries. It's in the middle, sits in the middle of the Southern African region. And Botswana is in the SADC, and the SADC is housed in Botswana. I mean, it's a market of 393 million people that you can tap in within the SADC economic bloc, right? And then we say the concept that could come is to build a city. How do you transform part of that land, of the Kalahari that sits near on the border of South Africa, which means South African can drive in, and you can have also flights. You have an airstrip in Sabon, and we thought about maybe you could have an international airport there that would serve as develop the air connectivity of the different flights for the different countries in the region to come in. Why? We will be going, maybe next slide, please. Okay, next slide. This is just, yeah. Okay, the vision of it was between BTO and ITIC when we were discussing is to convert part of the Kalahari desert into a leisure and lifestyle city, right? And which will comprise of various investment in infrastructural development, such as setting up the whole road network. But there's a road network because you have 35 villages around. Airport, we thought about railway system, hotel development, golf resort, wilderness and luxury safari lodges, African museum, theaters, cultural centers, and art galleries, and so forth. I will drive you through the pictures to the next slide. Maybe you go to the next slide. Next slide, please. So here you see the geographical, location of the Kalahari smart city, where we could develop it on the border of South Africa, and it's easy to drive in to South Africa, or from South Africa, from Johannesburg to Johannesburg to Kalahari, right? Next slide. So when you talk about sustainability, so it's a new city, it's a bare land, so you start and adopt easily the 17 goals of the UNWTO SDGs framework. Next slide. Oops, we are not there yet. Previous slide, yes. Okay, so when we said about the 17 SDG, sustainability SDG of UNWTO, we thought about the circular economy. I mean, the city, when we look at it, it's already having farmers, and they're already producing organic bio-agri development, and they have organic waste, and agri food, and all that is being developed, is being produced, fruits, vegetables, and so forth. And then you have also the meat that is being produced there. So we thought about bringing that 35 villages, a community, into the project. Next slide. Next slide, please. So you will have, the land is available. So we thought about having that concept, bringing that concept, the smart and greener energy, which means a solar farm that would produce electricity not only for that region, but for Botswana, and then possibility of exporting to the neighboring region as well in South Africa, where you have a lot of load shedding as well. Next slide. So that's what I was talking about, the biofarming and agriculture, because when you build, you will build a city of that magnitude, so you will have the 35 villages, approximately 50,000 people living in there, so you bring them into the business. And you create also SMEs, you support the local community by them bringing, producing the biofarming and agriculture for the project. Next slide. So I was talking about air connectivity, because air connectivity is key for any destination to develop their tourism, and especially when you build a new city of that nature. So we thought about bringing in that concept an international airport, which is similar to what Ras Al Khaimah has developed, or maybe to a certain level of Dubai, so that you can create the whole environment for airlines to come in. Then you have the residential areas, luxury villas, apartment that you will bring in, high-end. Next slide. So hotel development, because when you will be developing a city of that nature, so we thought about bringing between 5, 10 to 20 hotels, because it's quite big. Kalagadi is big, and it's on the border of the river. You can create a lot of activities around. Next slide. Golf resort. That will bring in the lifestyle all year round. Next slide. Then you have eco lodges, because you still have nature park, which is there, but it's compared to the Kalagadi for the South African side, which has been well developed, but the Botswana side is still need development. So we thought about bringing eco lodges, focus on harmony with nature and so forth. Next slide. African Museum and Heritage. So if you want to bring people in that city, not only for the people from Botswana, but you want to bring people from all around Africa, you create an travel within Africa itself. And that is being facilitated actually by AFCFTA and my friend, executive chairman from African Tourism Board, which is part of the developing the strategies of tourism for Africa with African Union, if I'm getting it right. So you're working on such type of project where you can enable intra-African travel. And we thought that African Museum and Heritage could bring all Africa together in one place. Theaters, cultural centers, art galleries, and so forth. Next slide. Schools and universities. So when you look about the tertiary education, a lot of the Africans, where they would go either to South Africa or they would go to Mauritius, because a lot of students from Africa comes to Mauritius. But Botswana could become a hub, an educational hub for that region within the SADC region. And so we could have within that city schools and universities. Next slide. Business centers. Botswana has ambition to become a MICE destination. But through this city, we believe that with the airport, that is going to create the air connectivity that will attract other airlines to come. So you can have business centers, convention centers, hotels, and so forth that will be going to be developed. So that will attract other events to come to Botswana. Next slide. Next slide, please. So theme parks, tourism attractions would be a part of the project development. Next slide. Hospital and wellness center. Next slide. Casinos. We heard about, Rachel came about the wind project. This could become a center for casino and entertainment and so forth within that region. Next slide. Recreational and entertainment complex. Next slide. Sports complex. So this is going to be, we thought about having a fully fledged sport complex developed. So when we talk, it's at international level, because you want to have international teams from Europe to come and train in Botswana, or you can host international tournaments. It could be soccer, it could be hockey, it could be tennis tournament, it could be also, international swimming competition and so forth, and for others for the region to come and train in Kalagadi. Then we have the greenhouse, sanctuary, and restaurant for within that lifestyle city. Next slide. Underwater world, skating rink, lake and musical fountain. Next slide. Botanical garden, youth center. Next slide. Community library, because we also think that it could be a place where wealthy people from around the world, or from South Africa, or within the region, could come and retire in Botswana. So you create the environment for them as well. Next slide. Okay, this slide we have thought on just to show the concept of the financing, is how it's going to be structured. It's a PPP project between BTO and ITIC. We come with a concept, we come with a product, and then what we will do is to look at how we get it financed. So we are not going to talk more in detail in it today, but it's just to give you an idea of the structure that we want to put in place. With the Botswana Tourism Development Fund, there's a feasibility. Of course, this is a concept, this is a dream, like my friend has said, my partner has said, but then it's all going to be about that feasibility that is going to be undertaken. We have been in negotiation with a finance company that is looking into it to do that feasibility. And then once that feasibility is done, we are going to come up with that project more in detail about the financing aspect of it, the Botswana Tourism Development Fund and all the different SPVs that are going to be set up, established, and then the types of partners that we are going to bring. I won't mention names, but we have been talking with different hotel groups, airlines that are looking at this concept, that is interested to look at the development, to hear about the next step of the development once the feasibility has been done, and then we will continue the way forward in it. Thank you so much. Seppo, you would like to add something?
Just one last item is that every city that has gone through this transformation, it didn't just happen by accident. It started with a concept like the one we are dreaming about, the one we are thinking about. And the reason why we are reiterating that we intend to actually undertake a feasibility is that we have a strong belief that we can see this through all the way and not just it to remain as a concept. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Seppo and Ibrahim. That was really exciting. I think the Kalagadi sounds like the place, it could be the new place to be, right? I'm interested to hear from Ms. Chalisa, from a Stanbic Bank point of view. What do you think about this as a potential investment, and also something that, would you like to see this in your country?
Thank you. Definitely. I'm hoping it's not something that will remain as a dream. I mean, we saw from the previous presentation that it can be done. I think as a Botswana, the only reservation that I have is in times past, big projects like this, they start well, but the implementation, when he was speaking to universities, for example, we already have a few universities here. But to get the pull from students from outside the country, we haven't managed to do it with the ones that we have. We have different golf resorts, but they haven't pulled the people that we want. So for me, what would be interesting is to know what will they do different. We've had different universities come and they're still not pulling international students. We have different golf resorts and golfing places, but they're not pulling the people that we want. What will be so different? Why couldn't a place like Maung become a city like that? And understanding that, for me, is the beginning for an investor to come in. What didn't work? And what are you going to do so differently to ensure that it becomes the city that you speak of?
Okay, well, I think they're very valid points. Maybe we should get Will Smith to come play golf and teach his film school at these universities. Okay, so the fourth section is we're going to get down to an investor who is a potential entrepreneur looking for investment, and it is, I would like to welcome to the stage Ashfaq Poland, the director of La Vallée des Couleurs in Mauritius. And this sounds very exciting indeed as well. Welcome. Thank you.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I feel deeply honored to be here for the first Tourism Investment Summit in Botswana. And before I start, I would like to show you a small video of a project that has been brought to life in Mauritius. And we have in mind to bring this project to Botswana to enhance the adventure tourism side of Botswana with the help of the government and the different stakeholders. So let us please have a look at the video.
Nature is still. Nature is lifeless. Nature is never in a hurry. Yet, everything gets accomplished. Nature has its imperfections, yet everything is perfectly as it should be. Nature is always the same, yet ever changing. Nature is patient, and nature is unpredictable. Nature is wild and untamed. Nature is art, music, poetry. Nature cares, soothes, and heals. Nature is a mother. Nature sings and smiles. Nature is part of us. Marvel you, it's in our nature.
Thank you for your attention. So I am thrilled to share the remarkable journey of La Vallée des Couleurs Nature and Adventure Park with you. Our story is one of innovation, sustainability, and limitless possibilities in the world of tourism. Let me begin by engaging you with a thought. What if I told you that a unique investment opportunity awaits? One that combines the allure of nature and adventure with the promise of substantial returns. Today, we are not just presenting a success story. We are offering you a chance to be part of an exciting venture that merges passion and profit. From its inception, La Vallée des Couleurs has embodied a vision that resonates with the very essence of nature and adventure, a vision of harmonizing the two in a sustainable and immersive manner. This philosophy has transformed our park into a destination that captivates the hearts and minds of all who visit. Over the years, our park has evolved, introducing thrilling experiences like quad biking, the iconic Bigarad restaurant, the longest zip line of the Indian Ocean. At each step, innovation and an unwavering commitment to delivering unforgettable moments have been our guiding lights. Today, what began as a dream in Mauritius is expanding into an international brand, aiming to manage multiple parks across Africa and the Middle East, and hopefully Botswana. Our vision for 2028 stands as a testament to our unrelenting pursuit of excellence, boundless passion, and unwavering dedication, a vision we invite you to be part of. But what truly sets us apart is our steadfast commitment to preserving our natural resources. Our conservation efforts have borne fruit in the lush landscapes and thriving wildlife that envelop our park. We are not merely a destination. We have become a sanctuary of education and conservation. We join hands with local organizations to protect and nurture the environment, making a profound impact and raising awareness for generations to come. As we stand on the brink of the future, La Vallée des Couleurs is in the final stages of rebranding and master planning. To this effect, we are collaborating with the world's best to elevate our capabilities in adventure park development. We are excited yet meticulous in our approach as we seek new opportunities to expand our horizons. Our culture and values form the bedrock of our success. Inclusivity, open communication, collaboration, and a healthy work-life balance are our guiding principles. We champion sustainability in everything we do and actively seek opportunities to give back to our community. As founders, we take immense pride in our achievements and are profoundly grateful for the opportunity to create something extraordinary. We found inspiration, impact our park has on the environment and the communities we touch. With an unwavering commitment to pushing boundaries, exploring new frontiers, and preserving our leadership in the nature and adventure tourism industry, we look forward to the future with excitement. As we seek the right expansion opportunity to share our industry expertise, we embrace the beauty of nature and we eagerly anticipate the adventures that lie ahead. In conclusion, we stand at the threshold of a new international adventure driven by our passion to create, our unwavering commitment to sustainability, and our vision to inspire. Thank you all for your attention, and let us embark on this extraordinary adventure together, a journey where innovation meets sustainability and excellence knows no bounds. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ashfaq. Please stay there. You have to answer some questions. You're in the hot seat now, aren't you? I love how that your presentation included adventure and ecotourism, and I've always wanted to try riding that bike on the high wire. But anyway, I'm interested to hear what the panel of experts have to say. Paul Hoskins, what are your thoughts?
Thank you very much. Fantastic presentation. I have to declare a slight interest here because my colleague Ibrahim, who you heard from just earlier, got in contact with our friends at the Nature Park in Mauritius and discovered that they were looking to expand their business elsewhere. It's obviously a tried and tested formula. Very popular in Mauritius, not only in the domestic market, but also with international international visitors, as I understand. I'm interested to know what sort of area of land you would require for such a venture and the type of costs involved in establishing a park of this nature. And would it involve, for example, would it be close to a built-up area where you already have hotels and a resident population, or would you be looking to develop hotels and bungalows and this type of thing as part of the project?
Thank you for your question. So to answer the first one, the topography of the area needs to be mountainous because of the zip lines and the different activities like the Nepalese bridge, the bicycle zip lines, and these activities require a certain topography that is mountainous and with a certain height. And secondly, a project of this type would require around 2 years of implementation, so to be able to realize it. Given the expertise we have in the industry and the experience we have gathered from the last 25 years, it is easy for us to come in Botswana and implement this type of project in only 2 years, and based on the experience we have acquired from the last 25 years. And a project of this type would typically cost around, let's say, $5 to $10 million, if that answers your questions.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yes, Mr. Kabine. You look very eager to ask a question. Actually,
Yes.
all the panelists do. They all look very excited.
Well, I don't think I'm asking a question. I'm very excited about your project because I think it makes a whole lot of sense. But maybe one very broad question. 99% of the time when we come up with a project like this, there's this magic three-lettered thing called triple P, public, private sector, and my view, my past experience, the 1P tends to drag things down. Can you undertake this purely as a private sector without having to necessarily wait for public to come on board? Because for me, if it's an initiative by the private sector and the public sector's role being to give the permissions, not any form of investment, it's a project that is doable. So how did you carry it out in Mauritius, and what would be your requirements for a project like this to work in Botswana?
So the park that I just showed you, the project that has come to life in Mauritius is privately owned. And of course, we have the support of the government when it comes to permit and in developing new activities and other attractions for the tourism industry in Mauritius. What basically we would need here is the support of the government, the Ministry of Tourism, and also a big help in terms of permit and a lease for the land that we would need to implement this type of activity here.
Thank you so much. Have we got time for 2 more questions? One from each. Do we have time? Not really. Oh, sorry. Okay. Do you feel like you've been in the dragon's den? Do you feel...
No, it's fine. It's perfectly
Under pressure? You answered very well. I thought that was good, and there was some positive feedback there as well. So thank you very much. Perhaps you can ask your questions afterwards. I'm sorry, we're out of time. And of course, we would have loved to have had questions from the audience as well, but sorry about that. So thank you so much. Really
thank you very
interesting
much,
presentations. And we'll be back with 2 more of these sessions tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much, panel of experts.